What up, Panther Nation? Panther. I always want to say Pantherologist, but it's still the Ropp Star report is still fresh to me in my mind. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. How's everybody doing today on this Wednesday? Guys, I also put the link, the StreamYard link, if people want to come in and join as we go throughout the show. So you're more than welcome to. It's right here in the chat. So feel free to come in. But before we do that, before we get right into today's episode, Guten Morgen, Grim Reaper, Guten Morgen. Some German for you guys this morning. Before we get into today's live stream, get through the PowerPoint presentation, and y'all get to hear me rant on some topics and talk about some things today, make sure you smash the ever-living shit out of that like button. That's it. That's all I ask. And if you're new here, my name's Clay. This is the Ropp Star Report, and this is where you get your daily Carolina Panthers news, updates, topics. And I do this every single day, 6 days a week, most of the time, but 5 days a week. But this week, it's only going to be 5, maybe 6. We'll see. Next week is going to be rocky. I am going to be out of town. I am going to a conference for my company that I work for. So, unfortunately, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday possibly will not be any streams. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I will be live for sure. I will be bringing you some content. I will try to go live as I'm there, but it's going to be very, very difficult to do so, depending on how much we're going to get done, how much, what we're doing and everything like that, and if I have time. So I will have my computer. I will have stuff to do the live stream. It's if I'm going to be able to do so. All right. So I will try. All right. I will try. All right. So, and you'll obviously get updated. And if you want to, make sure you click that post notifications bell, because if you click that bell, that nice little bell, it always updates you when I'm live. Always updates you. But make sure you just smash the ever living shit out of that like button. Okay. Just pound it. All right. Keep pounding it. Keep pounding it. Just like the saying goes, Goes a long way, guys. Goes a long way. So again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you check out the link tree down below for all my Discord, the social media, and the Bet USA link, the sponsorship of today's live stream. And of course, get in the comment section, guys. Love to hear your thoughts as we go throughout today. Feel free to share the live. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, and let's dive right into it. Okay, we got a good show for you. I got a good show. All right, Thomas Brown's vision, Unveiled. We're going to talk about that today. We're also going to got some news, some updates. We're going to talk about this new offense. We're going to talk about the reasons why we got our asses handed to us this past week. The utter disgrace of the other reasons what we need to work on. Poised to benefit from the switch. These are players, people I think from the team are going to be able to. All right, so let's get into the news and updates. All right, first off, ESPN Power Rankings. Okay. Now we had obviously a nice little start against the Miami, and that just fell through real quick. Obviously we're just continue to set ourselves back and back and back. We allowed 35 points unanswered against Miami. We were up 14-0, and after that it was 35 points straight for them. If it wasn't for the Skylar Thompson interception that was ran back, we would have lost that game, 42-14, right? This defeat obviously has solidified our position at the bottom of the ESPN power ranks. All right. We do need to point out some of the struggles by Bryce, emphasizing the need to improve targets, offensive line support. I think I still believe in Young's potential, but the census is clear. He requires more support to lead the team effectively. Okay. Marcus Gash, it is cold here. It is cold. It's 62 degrees here in the Carolinas today. 62 degrees. But woke up this morning, it was 55. So my behind is a little bit of a pansy when it comes to the cold. To the cold. So Now, this offensive philosophy by Thomas Brown, man, we're going to dive more into that, but I just wanted to let you know we got some key changes coming. All right. Obviously, with this decision for him to take over the play calling duties. And I know, but with the fans and myself are happy to see that. I think it needed to be done. Whether or not we see changes in the offense, it's definitely going to see changes in the fact of Frank Wright being more of a game managing head coach, being more of that QB development guy that he is so called to be. That gives him the more initiative to do that. And we're going to dive into why the benefits of this decision is going to benefit him as well. But expectations are high for Mr. Brown. Let's be honest, because we recognize the importance of the continuity and collaboration that he's going to have to bring to the table. He plans to make some adjustments, probably some radical changes, I'm sure, and hopefully it's a smooth transition and a cohesive offensive strategy, right? It's got to be something consistent. We can't be running the same plays. We broke down the game film yesterday, guys. I was live for almost 4 hours yesterday breaking down the game film. And we noticed that, there was definitely a mixture there. Frank Wright was calling some plays. I think they were kind of putting their heads together in this. It was 50-50 kind of coming from them. But there was just so many plays that when you watch the game film from 22, when we broke it down yesterday, I've never seen so many inside zone runs in my life. I've never seen so many same running plays. And it felt like also there were certain passing plays that we ran the same passing plays because it was boring breaking the game film down. I would have much rather broke down the Dolphins game film than the Panthers because their offense was at least creative. And there was no creativity because I felt like when I broke down the game film yesterday, we may have changed one, maybe two plays per drive. And it seemed like we were just running the same plays. So I'm hoping with these changes, and I'm going to tell you what changes I expect to see with Thomas Brown at the helm. All right. So, it is what it is. All right. So my expectations now for Bryce. Okay. Obviously, there's a lot of doubts out there. Marcos Cash, you're one of them. It's okay. I get it. You don't believe it. Okay. Um, exactly, Grim River. There is no reason why not to come in here and pound that like button. But my expectations for Bryce, even though there's doubts out there, I feel like he has shown some kind of promise and growth in every performance each and every week. There is positivity, right? And I do think now that we have seen, at least from this game, that he can play in this league. But again, it comes down to building within the trenches and getting him some playmakers on the outside, right? And now with Thomas Brown as becoming the guy who's going to make the play callings, I think that a staunch supporter of Young from the beginning, which I have been, I emphasize that they need to create favorable conditions for Bryce. Now, I know Brown's going to aim to elevate all players with focus on maximizing. You got to maximize Young's skills with this roster. And there's a lot of limitations to this roster. We all know that. Okay. While miracles I do not expect. Okay. But progress can be celebrated given this team's challenges. And that's what we need to see at this point. We just need to see progress. So my expectation for Bryce is progress. But from watching that game film, my expectations now of Bryce is this. Do not stop holding on to the ball too long. If you got to throw the ball to the check down, throw it to the check down. Do not hesitate. Just throw it. Stop trying to play hero ball because part of the times that I was watching the game film yesterday when I broke it down, there was times that I thought he held onto the ball too long because he was trying to make a play. There was times, though, there was nothing there because nobody is getting any separation. Okay, there were certain plays that not even Thielen was getting separation. The deep ball that we saw that was thrown in the end zone to Hayden Hurst on 4th and 2, There was really nothing for him to do there. He couldn't even get because the pocket closed so quickly. He couldn't get out and run, right? He couldn't even run for the 2 yards. But it's 4th and 2. And he had to throw the ball to the end zone over Hayden Hurst, and he overthrew him. Yes, there was a couple of deep passes that I do need to say that he missed on DJ Chark. And he needs to work on his deep accuracy ball. But other than that, I will say this. You have to stop holding onto the ball too long, Bryce. And if you got to throw the ball to the check down, it's better than taking the sack. So my expectations now is I need you to just do better on I need to see progression. I need you to try to just make a play that's there and not one that's not. And then again, of course, this Jared Jeudy trade speculation again is out and about again. All right. Obviously, there's rumors of a potential trade for Jared Jeudy have still come about. All right. Even though there has been speculation intensifying due to the Broncos' performance, and they're not doing very well either. But apparently, there's a feasible deal involving a 3rd-round pick and a 6th-round pick, offering the Panthers an opportunity to assess Jeudy before committing further. While such a move would be bold, it highlights the team's determination to provide some support for Bryce Young. And he needs it, and we don't know that. But for me, giving up a 3rd and a 6th-round pick does bother me a little bit because we don't have draft capital this year. We don't have a 1st-round pick. We're literally in the bottom. We are the bottom feeder of this NFL right now. The possibility of going 0-17 is not out the window. All right. So we need to think before we do in this aspect of things. Do I think we need to get Jared Jeudy? Do I think we need to get Bryce support? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you do not have the draft capital. We do not. So, guys, I mean, these things come and go. These things come and go. They always do, and we'll see how things transpire. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. That's your news and updates for today. All right. All right. Let's get right into the next one. Appreciate everyone joining. Make sure you pound the like button. Grim Reaper knows best. All right, let's get into the next topic here. A new dawn for the Carolina Panthers offense. All right, so we're going to dive into what I think this is going to look like, because now Thomas Brown takes the helm. Okay, this needed to be. I've always been saying this from the beginning. You hired the man for a reason. He's your offensive coordinator. He needs to be the one calling the plays. Frank Wright needs to become the play caller. All right. All right. So, I've been calling for this for a while now. I've been saying this from the beginning because now we're doing this right before the bye week, which is good because now it at least gives us time for these players to get acclimated to his style of play, the playbook that they're going to be running, the strategies, all that. But we found ourselves at this crossroad after starting 0-6, right? And even yeah, exactly, Jadarius. I think so too. I even if it's a small change. Like I said, at the end of the day, guys, I just need to see progress, right? I just need to see progress at the end of the day. All right, we just talked about that. Okay, but we're trying to reinvigorate this whole offense now, right? And I anticipate there is going to be some shifts in play calling responsibilities. But I will say this. I need to see more bootleg. I need to see more play action. I need to see them moving Bryce out the pocket to make some throws. I think he can stand in the pocket and make throws. We've seen that. But I also need to see some more of some pre-snap motion. Like, look at what Miami's offense does. We need to kind of have something kind of like that. Now, I get it. We don't have speedster wide receivers, but there are plays and strategies that will fit these certain players that we do have. Okay, there is that. 95% of the league 95% of the league, which most of these offense, Cincy, Rams, Miami, Eagles, 49ers for sure. But 95% of the league, go look it up. A lot of the offensive play calling now is moving to this pre-snap motion because it shifts when people are playing zone coverage. The pre-snap motion, most of it, sometimes depending on who's covering who, just like we saw in the Miami when we broke it down, there was a pre-snap motion play where they shifted the running back to the outside and it took the linebacker off the middle of the field, and then they were able to get the ball to Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill. And that's how it opens up the middle of the field. So I need to see more of that, but I would love to see some bootleg action with Bryce to kind of move him out the pocket, make a throw down the field. That's what I would like to see. But there is definitely going to be some shift, right? So it's crucial that we're doing this now because since we didn't do it at the beginning of the season, right? It's definitely you know, it, you know, our fan base is obviously very disheartened, right? And the leadership scrambling for solutions now, and the record stands in 0-6, right? And we thought this preseason we were told that this preseason with a lot of promises, but yet they didn't live up to the hype, right? Now, leaving everyone searching for answers now. Okay? This is a period in time for this team to entrust play calling duties to Thomas Brown and hopefully become a beacon of hope of some sort. Now, Thomas Brown has a nice reputation in the NFL. In the coaching circle, he has been steadily rising. His promotion offense coordinator is seen as a stepping stone toward a future head coaching role. Whether that could be here, guys, because that could be a possibility. I think this guy is a head coach. When you hear him speak, when you hear him talk, I think he could be a head coach in the NFL. Whether or not our owner will if Frank Wright gets fired, if that's something that does come to a possibility, but I truly believe in this guy. If we do not, if he does not get hired here as a head coach, I truly believe he could be a head coach here in the NFL. Really do. I could see it. I don't understand why Bryce improved skills hasn't been used more. That's what I'm saying. We got to utilize his skill sets. That's why I want to see bootlegs. I want to see more pre-snap motion. You see that, I guarantee you'll see a different offense. All right. But we got to stop. But when I broke the game film down yesterday, guys, I'm telling you, man, there was only 2 or 3 plays. There was only maybe a couple drives that we may have switched 1 or 2 plays in each and every drive. But it's inside zone, crossing route, curl routes, which is quick game, which I've been asking for, but there's not enough. There's not enough distractions coming off the ball, right? There's not enough distractions to shift linebackers out of the middle of the field. There's not enough safeties moving up so that we can get, what was I saying yesterday? There's not enough corners moving up and get us, shifting down, right? There was a lot that I had to take in from yesterday doing the game film. And that was my first time doing game film breakdown yesterday, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. But that was a lot of fun. We'll have to do more of that. Let me see Jen's to comment here. If Thomas Brown is able to turn this offense around, there's a strong chance he could get a head coaching job somewhere else if it turns around. Do you think Tepper would be willing to get rid of Frank to promote Thomas Brown? Part of me thinks that there could be a possibility. Guys, we got not 20 people in here, only 12 likes. Come on. Let's pound that like button. Come on. Give me 20 likes. Give me 20 likes and I'll be happy. That's all I ask is you pound the like button. It really helps me out. Jen, I could see it. The problem is Thomas Brown willing to, the question here is Thomas Brown willing to deal with Tepper? Are we going to be able to is Tepper going to finally step away from the football operations? That's what I need to know. Should be getting our starting right tackle back to be a plus for Bryce. Yes, we should be getting Corbett back which is going to be awesome, which is going to be great for us. I'm hoping he's going to be fully and ready to go. Obviously, JC Horn's name's been thrown around about coming back. There's also been some other people. Xavier Woods could be coming back, but I don't know where that is. But we'll see. We'll see. We got some guys coming back. We'll see. We got some guys coming back. It definitely would help, right? Has Thomas Brown ever been a full-time play caller? From my understanding, the times that he was there, but when he first got there with the Rams, he wasn't. But after that, Sean McVay let him do his thing. So from my understanding. The poll should be 100%. Yes, they've seen play calls Wright has made. Where are we at on the poll right now, guys? Let's see. We got 17 votes, and we've got. How do we have 17 votes but not 17 likes? How does that make sense, bro? Come on, guys. Pound the like button. There was 20 people in here. We got 18 votes and only 15 likes. Let's go. All right. Okay. What's up? What's up, Panther fans? Panther Raider comes in here. What's up, man? I wonder if Brown will be able to do something to improve execution by players. I think that's what the system needs to be, right? I think that's what the system needs to be, not just for Bryce, but for all the players around him. You need to make a system that benefits everyone, right? Because if it benefits everyone, that means that everybody's going to be able to do their job efficiently. All right. Like I said, I'm a true believer in this. Okay. Styles wins fights, right? In the UFC. We've seen that. And Conor McGregor is truly on right for that. Same thing in the NFL. System works for certain players, right? So at the end of the day, I think that's what this kind of bears down to. All right. Damn, Rich gone for season. Yes, he is gone for the season. Fully agree. We need some pre-snap motion, more disguise. Exactly, Chad. Exactly. That's what I've been calling for. 95% of the league runs pre-snap motion. Go look it up. It's a true percent. 95% of the team, the most efficient offenses in the NFL, 95% of them run pre-snap motion to disguise plays. As he was a play caller at Georgia, but not in the NFL. Yeah, and he played. He was a play caller in LA. The 3 years he was there in LA, he was a play call. He was the offensive coordinator for the Rams, but he did not call all the plays his first year. So Sean McVay kind of took him under his wing, from my understanding, at least from what I read up on. Took him under his wing the first year, and then the last 2 years that he was there, he was calling the plays. I hit it before I speak ever, live dog. I appreciate you hitting that like button, Jadarius. I know you always do. So, guys, make sure you're pounding that like button as you're coming in. I would greatly appreciate it. It goes a long way. In the voting, we got 18 votes, but only 16 likes. So there's no reason why we shouldn't have 18 likes already. I put a lot of time and effort in this, not to get more than, only get 16 likes. So come on. So strategic timing of play calling change. This is the transition from Wright to Brown. I don't think it was an impulsive move, but it was a well-considered shift in strategy, because the Panthers' next game against Houston in week 8, the time of this change is an opportune one. Bryce is poised for growth. I think he's got the potential, right? I still believe, and I'm not going to until otherwise. Like I said, guys, if we get Bryce help and he's still throwing these kinds of numbers up and still struggling, then I will say, okay, we made the wrong move in the draft. But without the support that he does not have, I cannot say he's a bust. And I can't stand that some of this fan base that does so. All right. Now, that's their opinion, and I'm going to honor their opinion and respect it. But at the same time, I'm also going to defend my quarterback, because he's here, and what else am I going to do at this point, right? But he just needs more reliable support beyond Adam Thielen, because that's all he has. Chuba has stepped up. I will say that. I love what I'm seeing from Chuba. Chuba should have been the RB1 from the beginning. And we'll see where Miles Sanders lies after the bye week. We'll see if they even put him back in the lineup. Maybe sitting him the Miami game and then now having the bye week and then leading up to the Houston, giving him some time to rest his groin and shoulder now, I guess could be a key to maybe him coming back. I'm not going to hold my breath on that, but hopefully maybe we'll see some kind of rejuvenation from him. Hopefully. I would love to see Miles Sanders come back and at least perform somewhat better. Right. And then if not, then use him in just the pass catching, because his pass catching grade in PFF is great. So use him as a third down back. Use him in the pass catch game. Use him as a third down back. Use Chuba through the first 2 plays. Right. That's all I can say. But we'll see. But Blackshear showed me some promise too. So we'll see how that turns out in the running back room as we go leading up to Houston and reports come out about that. Now, Young's enthusiasm for Brown's approach is evident. He's already made remarks about that. Now, my expectations under Thomas Brown, guys, my expectations is this. Okay, with under Brown's guidance, I expect to see this offense infused with misdirection, high tempo, pre-snap motion. Again, this is what I've been asking for. I've been asking for misdirection. I've been asking for high tempo and pre-snap motion. That is what we need to see from this offense, because these tactics were employed effectively during the scripted phase of their game against Miami Dolphins. The Browns' approach may involve entrusting Young with more, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to, it's on the tip of my tongue, guys. Anyways, I feel like Brown's approach may involve entrusting Young with more capacity. All right. So allowing for more no huddle plays, creative audibles, frequent downfield passes, but he needs to work on his deep ball accuracy. So this is a good time to do so. Okay. Now in the run game, Brown could introduce some outside designs, a committee approach. Like I said, a running back committee approach, which I've been asking for. Okay. Deploying 2 running backs alongside Young in the backfield. The goal is to keep opposing defenses guessing and break the predictability that has plagued the Panthers. So again, under Brown's guidance, I expect for him to infuse misdirection, high tempo, pre-snap motion. Because again, when you do those things, okay, it disguises your offense. Okay. All right. And then when you do that, and then you add into Brown's approach that he's going to do with Young, you're going to allowing him to do more no huddles, creative audibles, and then frequent downfield passes. Again, though, in that aspect, Young has to work on his deep ball accuracy. Okay. But in the run game, I like that Brown is going to introduce outside designs. If you go watch the Rams game film, go watch the Rams game film and how Sean McVay does a lot of his offense. It's a lot of outside designs in the run game. And then he does, but a running back by committee approach is what I've been asking for, but we haven't seen enough of, because Miles Sanders has been hurting us more than he's been helping us, but now Chuba stepped up. I like what I've seen from Blackshear. But again, like I said, we'll see what happens with Miles Sanders now that he's had time to rest that groin injury and shoulder injury for sure. And we'll see if they throw him back in the lineup. And if he's not, like I said, he's just not a downhill runner. He's not, we don't have that power back kind of guy. We've got a lot of scat backs between Blackshear. I would even say Chuba's a scat back, but he can also run through holes a lot better than Miles. So we'll see what he brings to the table, but that's what I'm predicting. The goal here is to keep opposing defense, though, at the end of the day, guessing and break the predictability that has plagued our offense, especially on early downs. Now, despite the absence of Laviska due to a high ankle sprain, and then the return of Miles Sanders after the bye week and the productivity of Chuba Hubbard, does offer some promising alternatives. I wish LaVisca wasn't injured because I have a feeling with the disguising and the breaking the predictability. I felt that Chenault would just benefit from this. Would benefit from this if he wasn't injured the most because of what we can do with him. But in this dire situation, the Panthers have nothing to lose now. Okay. So let's make that evident. But make it the ideal opportunity for Brown to shine. Success in revitalizing this offense could open doors for this man, whether that's becoming a head coach here or somewhere else down the road. I just want to see him succeed because I like Thomas Brown. I like how he speaks. He speaks like a head coach. He thinks like a head coach, and I feel like he deserves. I think he did. I feel like he deserves his flowers. I feel like he deserves his flowers. So, let me get in the comments here. See what we got. Where were we at? Fully agree. That. Okay, here we go. In 2023 is his first year as an OC. He has not called plays. Well, I guess that article I read, the guy must have been lying, Marcos. I don't know. Rookie OC, rookie QB, more regression. We'll see, Marcos. We'll see if you're eating your words. I'm a fan myself, but damn, man, it's just 1 year, and this guy has been hindered by the lack of weapons in him. That's what I've been saying, Jadarius, but we got other people in here who thinks otherwise. No doubt. Deep ball accuracy has to get better. Absolutely. Rock. He has to be better off throwing that ball. We saw a couple plays when we broke down that game film yesterday against Miami that he missed, right? And trust me, we're going to be breaking more game film down because I really enjoyed that, even though it was kind of boring, but I really did enjoy it. And I learned a lot. Good, Marcos, because I want you to eat those words when it happens. But I'm going to eat my crow. Listen, I have been eating my crow for the past 3 years. Okay, doing this. Okay, I'm at over 2,500 subscribers. Thanks to y'all. Shout out to y'all, by the way. But I've been eating my crow for years. I haven't put a clown suit. I've been wearing a clown suit, even though it's imaginary. But I've got a big red nose right now. I said, think about it. I predicted this team to go 10-6. No joke. Y'all remember that? I predicted this team to go 10-6. Trust me. I got a huge red nose right here. And you know what happens when you do that? Yeah. Or I'm getting laughed at. They're laughing at me. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I'm like I said, I'll eat my crow at the end of the day. And I'm wearing that big red nose. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like I said, some of y'all with some of my takes, this is y'all right now. And I get it. And some of y'all, some of my takes, y'all are like this. But shout out to y'all. For getting me up there with the 2,500 subscribers. And we're on the road to 5K. So I appreciate y'all. So, you know what I mean? All right, let's get into the next one. So I didn't get to finish this yesterday, so I wanted to kind of finish this. These are the reasons why we got freaking dismantled. All right, this past week against Miami. Again, because we need to go over this. All right. Clay, I said 68 with these motherfuckers done lost 6 straight. Your 6 is not out the way. Your 6 wins is not out the way, but we need to win first before I even think we even get close to 6 wins. we're in a country we're in a comedy club with these sounds. I'm trying to get more sounds for the show, guys. I want to bring in some more of these for the show. We all thought we'd be better than 0-6. Yeah, we did. We all thought, and we thought wrong. Boy, we thought wrong. All right, so let's get into this. So this is why we got our asses handed to us. Okay, we lost momentum. Okay, first quarter. Looks like Miami's house of cards might actually fall. But hell no, that didn't happen. The Dolphins aren't no ordinary fish. They punched us right back in the mouth. They caught us slipping, and before we knew it, it was 40. They outscored us 42-7 in the last three quarters. So no excuses. It was just pitiful execution and a lack of fighting spirit. Number two, dumb as hell plays. Okay, and especially in the most crucial moments, because time and time again this season, Panthers moronic offense has baffled us with some mind-numbing play calls. All right. The last addition to their impressive gallery of pitfalls was an otherwise promising 2-minute drill, guys. So remember that 2-minute drill? We were leading down the field. Bryce was getting us down the field. And just when he was looking, to get the Panthers back into this game, he faltered on 3rd and 1 and effectively killing a momentum. And then the Panthers, that was it. But it was also on Frank Wright's fault for not managing the play clock, right? The defense, again, ran through more than a hooker on the corner, right? It's no hidden fact that we continue to struggle against the run, and we continue to do so due to the lack of talent and depth we have on the defensive line. Shai Toto was a waste of a free agent. No offense. I'm not going to hold back on these players that aren't performing. We don't have a middle linebacker who's a playmaker and a communicator. All right. But for Christ's sakes, man, they're professionals, not a bunch of toddlers learning to walk, right? They were so thoroughly dominated by Mike McDaniel's offense that it was nothing short of just humiliating, okay? So what's more damning is the lack of any sacks from the Panthers. It was an abysmal failure, reflecting the incompetence of our defensive front, okay? Then horrendous coverage. Of course, I'm still going to say injuries have crippled the secondary unit, but that's no damn excuse for the laughable coverage that we displayed against the Dolphins. When we broke the game film down, it's just laughable. I laughed on every single drive that Miami had that they scored on when we broke down the game film yesterday. It almost felt like literally, guys, chat, like literally. It felt like yesterday that not yesterday, but in that game, it felt like Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle were running free in the field without anyone trying to stop them. And each time the Dolphins went for a drive, it felt like the Panthers were just handing out candies at a damn fair. Just like, here you go, trick or treat. Here you go. Here you go, little boy. Again, all said and done, this team still has a lot of work to do. Whether Thomas Brown, like I said, even if Thomas Brown turns his offense around, we still have other holes that we've got to fill. I told you, this team has multiple holes to fill. I've been telling you that. It's more than one. I've been on here being honest with you guys, and hopefully we can at least do something, but I don't think Evero's system fits the players we have. I don't think the 3-4 defense is going to continue to fit what we have going on here. I just don't see it. All right. I know it's gonna be good. Bro, you'll be one of the biggest Panthers YouTubers. Keep going, man. I hope so. I'd love to reach those P&P heights, man. I'd love to reach those P&P heights. I really would. I really would. You like that analogy there, Panther Raider X? I saw 06 coming after the preseason week 2. Really, Marcos? Because I didn't hear that from you. Marcos, you're gonna have to start giving me your predictions because I'm gonna have to. I need to start keeping some receipts around here a little bit better. I need to start keeping some receipts around here a little bit better. But then again, let's talk about this though. Again, it was just an utter disgrace. So What? Again, can it get any worse? Marcus says, Cash says, ooh, PNP. Oh, man, I like those boys. I'm just saying, like, I would love to reach their heights, at least from a subscriber standpoint and a show standpoint. Because if I can reach those heights, I can be able to interview players. I can be able to interview coaches. I can be able to do a lot more. So, and I could do this full time, and I could be able to go to games, and there's so much to do once you reach those kinds of heights, though. That's why I'm saying that. All right. But the thing is, can it get any worse? Seriously, a 2-touchdown lead again, 35 points, ghost train, staring none other than our very own men in blue. You know, it's enough to make anyone swallow their face mask and disappear. We're just in real shambles, and it's an absolute embarrassment, guys. So take a good look, because this is what fast tracked to sidelines looks like right here. The run defense, disgrace. Pass rush, disgrace. Young wide receivers, disgrace. Old game plan, disgrace. Okay. You know what grinds my gears the most, though, is in this whole thing was our non-existing pass rush. Hey, Panthers, next time you're pursuing Tua Tagovailoa, try not to look like you're trying out for the ice capades. All right. Try to not look like you're on skates, because it's called a game. You should try to play it sometime. I'm not holding back on this team anymore, guys. The Dolphins were down two main offensive linemen, and we still couldn't pull off a sack. Unbelievable. But I will give Dolphins their flowers. They set up a game plan where for Tua to get the ball out so quick, our pass rush couldn't do anything. But at the same time, when you have two main offensive linemen and you still couldn't pull off a sack, that's unbelievable. Where were you at, Mr. Elite Pass Rusher, Brian Burns, that everybody doesn't seem to want to trade? But I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to move on. Whether or not I know that we would have a lackluster of a pass rush with him gone, I will still admit that. But at the same time, if you're not doing anything, what's the point of you being on the field? Meanwhile, our young wide receivers are failing to step up to the plate. After trading off DJ Moore and banking on our so-called young talents, it turns out we've put way too much faith in these underachievers. Where's the drive, the determination, the knack of grabbing that ball and carving up the field? Our quarterback, Bryce Young, has been stuck tossing the ball to to Adam Thielen because the rookies can't catch a cold. Mingo, your second-round pick. Get open. Create separation. Terrace Marshall. Well, nah. Do I need to say more than just his name? I mean, don't get me started on this run defense, because it was as solid as Swiss cheese. I mean, they say in grade school, right? As they say in grade school, when an action gets repeated enough, it's a pattern. And this isn't just a one-off occurrence, man. We allowed 444 yards per game on the ground over 6 weeks, guys. We average on the ground. Top 5 defense, remember now. We're top 5 defense now. Don't forget that. Panthers fans, don't forget that. We're top 5 defense. Who in the hell do you think that you are if you think we're a top 5 defense, or top 15 defense, sorry? When your run defense is allowing 144.3 yards per game. Who are you kidding? Over the past 6 weeks. And that's a generous average considering what happened with Miami. Even our promising start in the game was a flash in the pan, because we started strong, looked like we knew what we were doing a little bit, looked like we had an identity. Then poof, back to the old game plan, the tired old game plan. We dared to hope we had something new, something inventive. right threw that hope in the trash again because it looks like Frank Wright, but he finally realized his plays are old and tired as a thrift store sweater is the best way I can put it, guys. That's how Frank Wright's play calling is. We broke the game film down. Me and Panther Raider X, who's in the chat right now, said, Clay, do you notice? He even said in the comments, and I was about to say it before he commented, but then he commented, I saw it, and he goes, do you notice that we are only running at 1 or 2 different plays per drive? I'm like, you know what? Right. You were right. So it was funny because how could we see his high tempo and innovative strategies working and then decide to just let it all slip back to the mediocrity is beyond comprehension to me. But now he's handing over the play calling to Thomas Brown, who is an innovative thinker, which we just broke down what I expect his play calling to be. Just what we need more of, empty innovation. So thank you, Panthers, for another week of car crash football. As we continue to watch you fumble, stumble, crumble, all we can do is hope for the light at the end of the tunnel. Ooh, dropping some bars. That was some bars. But still. You know? Could be a blessing in disguise. We're 0-6, and now we can make some changes and build around Bryce, trade some players, always while so adding on a young wide receiver. We could. We just still don't have that first round pick. And again, guys, that still is looming over my head. We could still be 0-17 at the end of this, and we don't have a first round pick. We're literally basically could be 0-17 without a first round pick, and we're literally just going to be 0-17 trying to get the first pick in the second round. But I'm telling you, we're going to have to make trades if we want to be anywhere. Derek Brown is our defense. He is. Send him to Baltimore. Marcos. So I read that article, and it was a mock draft, but the guy messed up. He tweeted back out and said that in that article that I posted on Twitter, thanks to Marcos Cash, by the way, shout out to you. I posted up on Twitter and I made a comment about it. And some people were like, you do this, like trolling, being ignorant fools as they are. But I asked for them to comment. I didn't say I wanted to go for trade Brian Burns for a first or third round pick. I didn't say that. But what I did say was, what I wanted to get at was that the guy who made the article tweeted back out and said that he meant for 2 first round picks and a third. He meant 2 first round picks and a third. So interesting enough. But everybody's like, well, don't trade with Baltimore because they're going to be a mid first round. Beggars can't be choosers, man. If we don't have a first round pick, even if it's mid first round, it's better than none. But we're not going to get that out of Baltimore. Baltimore ain't trading no 2 first round picks and a third round pick for Brian Burns, even though they've got 2 pass rushers out. But that won't happen. I don't see how we get a top defense last 2 games. I know. I don't get it. Maybe Bryce can execute other plays. That's why they keep running the same over and over. He can execute other plays, but I'm saying that's what I was saying earlier. Thomas Brown is going to. That's why I'm saying we need pre-snap motion. We need more disguises. We need more bootlegs. We need more play action pass, moving on the outside, stuff like that. So we'll see. Time will tell, man. Time will only tell. No, we're not. We're not getting that out of Baltimore. Baltimore's probably going to end up going after Derrick Henry anyways. If they're going to trade for anybody, they're probably going to go after Derrick Henry. I guarantee you Derrick Henry is going to be might be a Baltimore Raven. Or he could be a Buffalo Bill. I think the Bills or the Ravens are going to be the ones that are going to be hammering that door. Yeah, Vern's value has gone down. He has. It's all over the place. So guys, I wanted to end off on this, but then I'm gonna let y'all join the live. Anybody can come in and join again. I put the stream link up here if you want to join and come in and talk or kind of just shoot the shit, whatever you want to do. The link is right there if you want to come in. So anyways, so who stands to gain from this, right? Who stands to gain from the play calling? And these are the guys I think, okay? I know Miles Sanders is out there. Y'all are probably like, what are you talking about? But just hear me out, and then we'll go from there. I'm not expecting anything too crazy from Miles, okay? All right, my expectations are low, below, and gone, okay? But this has been a long anticipated change, man. And this is why I'm still harping on it, because I've been asking for this from the beginning of the season. As soon as they hired him, I said, Frank Wright needs to let this guy. And I knew Frank was going to do what he was doing. I knew it. But it was time because we're in desperate, and we need some inspiration. And I'm finally glad that we made this move, because we've have a losing streak. We're largely our fan base is it's a roller coaster that has multiple loops. Our fan base is just like this right now. We're on this roller coaster that you're going up and down on this roller coaster through loops right now. That's how I'm seeing it. Because how Brown approach aligns more closely with the innovative strategies prevalent to how the modern NFL is now. Okay. He emerging from the coaching line of Sean McVay. Brown is going to bring a fresh perspective, I think, to this team. And we talked about it earlier. It's on multiple fronts, because the time of this change couldn't be more perfect, though. Even though I wanted it at the beginning of the season, it has to be done now. There was not another time we were going to be able to do this. So as it provides an extra week to plan, implement alterations to this team, systematic concepts, but which players are most likely to benefit from this significant transition? And the first one's Tommy Tremble. And here's the reason why I think it's going to benefit Tommy Tremble very much, is because he has shown glimpses of promise, but has yet to make substantial impact. Now, previous coaching decisions has hindered his development. And under Brown's play calling, there are hope that I think Tommy Tremble, with his athleticism, which we have seen, and we saw it in the last game, will put better use. Okay. We saw it in the last game, particularly when he leaped over that defender against Miami. I think there's some demonstrated untapped potential there in Tommy Tremble. Okay. Brown's innovative approach might also lead to some increased involvement for Hayden Hurst as well. We saw a lot of two tight end package sets out there against Miami. So we might see more of that. Toxic comes in and says Burns' value went. Yeah. Do you blame Matt Rule? I mean, part of this is yes. Part of this, I would say, is on Matt Rule. The first year of him apparently getting to choose who he wanted to draft, bring in. But then now there's reports that it was all David Tepper, and then there's reports that it was Tepper and Svitter, and then I don't even know what to believe anymore, because there's so many different things. It's Tepper getting involved, Matt Rule getting involved, or first it was Matt Rule making the decisions on the draft picks, free agency. Then they're saying it was David Tepper getting involved in the football operations. Then it's the GM and Tepper together telling Frank what to do and who to get and all this stuff and who they're going after. It's just, I don't even know what to believe anymore, guys. I really don't. It's just such a disarray. Who do you blame? At that point, you just blame all of them. You blame Frank, you blame Matt Rule, you blame Scott Fitter, and you blame David Tepper. You blame all four of them at that point because it's too many egos and too much of lack of communication. So at that point, you just you pick the four verdicts. He's not better than what we got. You don't know that until we see it. Another one who benefits from is going to benefit from this, in my opinion, is definitely Bryce Young. Okay, because now we're going to be able to, like I said, I think he's going to make a system that focuses on the development of Bryce. Okay, and I think that Brown's confidence in Young is already evident. He's already come out and said that his play calling may become more dynamic. It's going to come with increased tempo, deep passes, reduction in screen plays, a lot of pre-snap motion, a lot of distinguishing our offense so we're not so predictable. And I think that's going to help Bryce uh, a lot, a lot. But I'd love to see some more bootleg play actions, though. I'd love to see him get out the pocket a little bit more. And then Miles Sanders. Now, I know I'm not saying that Miles Sanders is going to come back and be like his old ways, like at the Eagles, but I think it could benefit him in some sort of way because he has been underwhelming. And with his limited production coming in here, I think Brown is going to take an approach with him and hopefully maybe breathe in some new life into Sanders, utilize him more effectively on the edges, maybe in some misdirection plays. Additionally, I think Sanders is expected to return fully healthy after the bye week. And like I said, I think there's going to be a running back committee approach with him and Chuba, and the possibility of a return veteran right guard could provide some much needed support from the offensive line. So maybe we can get a nice little rejuvenation there from Miles Sanders. Another thing is Frank Wright. I think this is going to benefit him a lot because I know this was probably a decision that he didn't want to make, at least right now. But it had to be done because it was just crucial at this point because he needed to relinquish this play calling duties. Okay, so that he can focus on overseeing all the areas of the team. And then he's not in immediate danger of losing his job if he wants to keep his job here. So I think this shift's going to provide an opportunity for him to have more of a holistic approach to our team management, right? So under this agreement, I feel like Wright is going to continue to contribute to the play to planning while Brown takes charge of an in-game strategy. So this change could benefit both figures while helping the Panthers regain some kind of respectability, hopefully this season. Because at this point, like I said, I just want us to see progress. I just want us to see us play some competitive football. And at the end of the day, that's it. Those are the two things I want to see. If I see that, I'm okay. Because at this point, that's all I can ask for. So, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, the decision to trust Thomas Brown to play calling duties is a new beginning for us. All right. So hopefully we can turn the tide a little bit after the start of this disappointing season. So hopefully these changes can offer some fresh hope and opportunities for players and coaches alike. Again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream today. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream today. Make sure you pound the like button as you're coming in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Also, I just got to give myself a good show. It's a good show. Jolly good show. So, guys, if you want to come in and shoot the shit with me, you're more than welcome to. Be fun. The link is right there. You can come on right in, and you're more than welcome to. Also, guys, make sure you share the live. That would also greatly appreciate it. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. I've got the Discord link updated. It's updated in the link tree, so you should be good to go. If not, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pin that in the chat right now. Actually, I'll go ahead and put that in the chat right now. So people, if you want to join, feel free to do so. You're more than welcome to. So there's the Discord if you want to join. I put it in the chat. Atlanta boys coming in here saying Chen is out for 6 weeks. Good Lord. Another freaking blow to this team, man. This is where this whole turf thing is kind of starting to get on my nerves, man. And I'm wondering if that has to do with it. What is his injury though? Jeremy Chin. Oh, it just came out. Jeremy Chin had missed several weeks. Will not need surgery. Through the Yeah, I mean, his production's gone down though. I mean, his production's gone down. I don't remember Chin getting hurt in this last game though. I just think I mean, here's my thought. Even though he's out, you got to think about it this way, guys. His he's only been on the field 50%, 52% of all defensive snaps this season. Okay. And his usage has dropped dramatically from where it was in his first 3 seasons of the league. I think there's some thought that Chin maybe just doesn't fit with this new defensive scheme and that he could be traded away later this month. But obviously that's not going to be happening now because he was one of my trade candidates because of him just not fitting in. But you'll still have to wonder about his future in Carolina. You know, it was a quad. See that they're not saying what it was. That's like pissing me off. That's pissing me off, babe. That's pissing me off, babe. We're going to invite. So anyways, let's go. I do want to go over this real quick, guys, with you. I do want to go over something real quick with you. Yeah, he's not getting traded now. Well, he can't. Once he's injured, that's it. All right, so I wanted to go over this real quick. So this article was sent to me. I posted it up on Twitter, man, and I'm getting so much backlash. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable for this article I posted on Twitter. People are making so much a fuss about it. And I literally tweeted out, I was like, yo, listen, did I say that I wanted to trade Brian Burns? I said, no, I never said that. I told these trolls and ignorant fools that in my post, does it say that I want to make this trade? No. I just asked for people's thoughts. So, but look at this. So apparently, will the Baltimore Ravens trade for Panthers edge rusher? Okay, now the Ravens are dealing with Ajobo and Owe. I don't know how to pronounce their names. I'm not gonna lie. I probably botched the shit out of both of those. But apparently there has been this. But as you read, okay, as we read through here, in an article proposed trade deadline, multiple teams, Cody Benjamin created a mock trade. Okay, so it was a mock trade. And in this, the guy actually retweeted out and said that he was meant right here that it was supposed to be 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick. Okay, not a first and a third. So they're just it's just a, you know, it's just a fan article. Dude, oh, y'all should see the Twitter right now. Look at this. Here, I'll share my Twitter real quick. So look at this. I'm gonna show you my notifications, man. I'm gonna show you my notifications. Now, some of them aren't bad, but some of them are okay. So like this, okay. So we got people liking it. I was a so Vinny says in this. So let's react to these. Vinny says I was called a clown for trading up or trading for a first rounder. But I didn't even say that. This guy sends that. This guy says, okay, so just to be clear, this random guy's linked fan article is what we're making the fuss over. Okay. Linked fan article. Interesting. Okay, I'm not trading away another player that's entering his prime just to draft a lesser player. I hope that works out. And I hope that works out. Didn't work with Steve Smith, CMC, Norman, Gilmore, or Reddick. Y'all crazy for talking like this. Burns our best player. Again, did I say? If you look at my post, this is what I don't understand with these people on Twitter who are just out of control. This guy's saying ask for a fifth, 6th, 2, and then pull the trigger. Send him now. Yeah, he's not worth at least 2 first rounds. I'll throw rocks at Nicole Tepper's Escalade. But all I said was this, guys. If you go look at my Twitter, all I said was this. This is all I said. Baltimore's looking at Burns for our first and third. Comment your thoughts. Now, 52 comments, 27 retweets, 61 likes. So traction's there. But it's like I might be Carolina's most wanted now instead of Cody Lashley over there at CP3. But again, all I was asking was your comments. Not saying I wanted to make the trade. Oh, dude, there's so many low T people, man. It's unbelievable. There's so many low Ts. There's so many low T people, man. I mean, Marcos, here's the thing about trading Brian Burns. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit more. And actually, Marcos Cash, based off of this comment, that's what we're going to talk about. So based off this comment, Marcos is now giving me a brainstorming idea. You have to think about it like this from this standpoint. We have to be in full rebuild mode right now. This retooling shit has not done us any favors. All right. So now, right? So now, you know what I mean? Has done us no favors. So trading Brian Burns at this point only makes sense because of the fact that now we are wasting his talent because he's in his prime. He's basically in his prime, or he is in his prime. Let's just say that. We're wasting his talent. And by the time we become competitive again at this point, we could end up being wasting this guy away. And I don't think that's fair to him. You know what I mean? It's almost like, okay, you're going to have, it's like having a newborn child and you have a 6-month-old puppy. You're going to be neglecting that puppy because of the new baby. Right? So, in my opinion, I feel like we should consider it. And I think that if we're going to do this rebuild correctly, you're going to have to trade assets to get what you want to build around this team, no matter what, because we're in rebuild. Or not in retooling. Yeah, we got a rookie quarterback, but we are definitely gonna we are at a crossroads with a lot of things that we have to do besides just switching over to play calling. This team has a lot of holes and multiple issues than just us worrying about some kind of play calling. Okay. So we really need to make a decision here with certain players on this team. Now, I know Terrace Marshall. I've heard Tommy Tremble. We've had Chin's name. Now, Chin's not going to get traded. But now you really now have a really tough decision to make because now you can't trade Jeremy Chin to get some draft capital. So that's one guy. That's one guy that's off the board. So now you only have left is Terrace Marshall. I've even seen Tommy Tremble's name, Dante Jackson. Okay. For these guys to trade away. Unless you trade Brian Burns. But then again, where's your draft capital coming from? You don't have any. Who's trading for Burns at this point? They know they can just keep their picks and throw a bag at him in the offseason. Yeah, but then you know how bad that's going to look for us, though. For not, it's either trade him or re-sign him, Chad. I mean, I'm not advocating to just trade for it to trade him away, but at this point, you either sign him or trade him. So either you sign him and waste away his prime, because that's what's going to happen, or you trade him and get draft capital. But here's the thing: even if but here's the thing: we could franchise tag him, which there has been. There has been talks about that being a possibility. And then also there's been talks that this offseason, that's just when they were going to give him a deal this upcoming offseason. So after the season's over with, they were going to reach a deal. But I'm thinking Burns is getting to the point where he doesn't want to be here. And then if you wait this offseason, even if you franchise tag him, someone's going to sign him and then you let him walk. And you know how bad that looks for us? So we're at a bit of a crossroads, guys. I'm speaking as devil's advocate from the perspective of other teams. Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. I mean, a playoff team who needs an edge will come off some picks for him. They are playoff, but mode, not draft mode. I mean, there's been multiple teams that I've heard. There's multiple teams that are interested in him. Yeah, I'll pull up the article that I'll show y'all. It's already come out an hour. This article just came out an hour ago. So look at this. So they've already got the Baltimore Ravens on here. All right. Obviously, the Ravens are dealing with these two guys being out, dealing with injuries. All right. And then they got Jacksonville because the only person they have on the outside is Josh Allen. Los Angeles Rams. But again, so the three teams that I know of is from these. Oh my God. Do you see this one? Look at this, guys. Trade deal and question mark. US Today makes interesting trade proposal. Oh, I got to see this. This has got to be bad. Now they're saying the Ravens want Thielen too. Good God. In this article. Jeez, Lou. I don't understand some of these, man. I really don't. I really don't. Some of these articles I just don't understand. That might work, Marcos. You're still going to have a low first for them. Yeah, I mean you're going to have a mid. If it's the Ravens, you're going to have a mid. Jacksonville, maybe a mid. I mean, you might be higher with Jacksonville. Rams, you might have a top 10 pick with the Rams because who knows what's going to transpire out of there. But then again, the Rams did offer us last year 2 first-round picks and a second. I mean, if we could pull that off again, then I would say possibly. If it's not, guys, again, I know his value's gone down, but at the same time, if it's not 2 first-round picks, I would not make that trade. So I want to let that be known right now. Why the hell would we trade Thielen? That's I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes, sometimes it's USA. It's USA Today, man. Go look. USA Today comes out with some obnoxious shit. I feel like sometimes. I feel like they come out with not obnoxious shit. No joke. Oh yeah, Jacksonville read that too. Yep. Burns Thielen for a first, second, and third. No. Give me 2 first. Give me 2 first, second, and third. Give me 2 first, a second, and third, and call it a day. So I mean, and even if US today was right about that with Thielen, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I gotta come up with some. I'm gonna have some TikToks today, guys. I'm gonna be doing my NFL power rankings. I'll definitely be doing my NFL Week 7 picks as well. So I'll be coming out with that. We'll do the picks tomorrow as well for the Week 7. So we'll do that, and we'll dive into some more Carolina Panthers stuff tomorrow as well. So be on the lookout for that. I know I love doing the live streams, but guys, I think I'm going to start doing some editing videos too now. I'm going to start putting out some edits. So I might have to start doing some more of those too, because I haven't been doing a lot of editing videos. I've just been going live. So good Lord, dude. Good Lord. Dude, my Twitter is blowing up off of that shit, man. So why not trade Thielen? That could be free draft capital. Okay, so then so who's Bryce gonna throw to? Who's Bryce gonna throw to, guys? Oh man. We're such a disarray, man. I'm telling you, man. It's so hard to make these decisions. Exactly. Right? Who's Bryce gonna throw to? DJ Chark can't catch anything. Like I said, our wide receiver group can't catch a cold, man. Besides Thielen. He's getting the coronavirus, the flu, a cold, everything. I mean, if anything, this is probably what would happen. If you trade Thielen and you trade Burns, that means YGM will take over the role where Burns is, or Luvu would. And then you move Jonathan Mingo to the slot, and then you have Terrace Marshall and DJ Chark on the outside. Right. Uh, if you guys make a list of players that don't work for us, what's this? I'm still live. Uh, if you guys make a list, okay, hold on. If you guys make a list of players that don't work for, who would it be? All right, we can go through the roster. I mean, well, here's the thing, Chad. I've already made a list of players who I'm willing to trade. I'm willing to trade. I'm willing to trade for draft capital because if we're going to do a full rebuild, you have to think about what players you want to build around or what players you want to build around and what players on both sides of the ball you want to build around. And then who's going to get you the most assets at the end of the day. And I had a list of players and the reasons why I would trade these players. Now I got to find it. Maybe this one. Nope. All right. So if we look at the roster, right? So let's go through this roster real quick. I'll tell you the players as we go through this roster. Give me a second. No, I want to go through the depth chart or the roster. Okay. So here we go. So let's look at this roster real quick. We better win next Sunday. I mean, I'm not going to tell you we are. I can tell you that. All right. So between these two, you're going to have to pick between Derek Brown or Burns who you're going to build the defense around. If we're going to do a full rebuild. So look, all right. Everybody get your head right for this. All right. Because you have to think that we are in a fire sale. Okay. You have to think about what we're going to go through here, that you're in a fire sale and you can only pick certain players that you're going to build around. And it might only be one or two players. Okay. And you got to remember, you don't have a first round pick this year. Okay. Nader Afshar, I would. If you get a first round pick for Adam Thielen, I would. You have to think about what players you want to build around when you're looking at this roster. Okay. Whether it's Derek Brown. So, from the defensive standpoint, whether it's Derek Brown or Brian Burns, you're going to have to pick between these two. Okay. So, just take your fan cap off, your bias fan. You have to take it off. You have to think about who you're going to rebuild this team around. Guys, if you want to join the live stream, the link is right here. So feel free to join the live stream anytime as we're going through this. You're more than welcome to get involved in this conversation, and it's right there. The link is right up. It's at the second comment in the chat here, and I can repost the link again. So feel free if you want to come in. You're more than welcome to. I'll repost the link in the chat again. So if you want to join, you're more than welcome to get involved in this discussion. Okay. It's right down here. So if you want to join, come on in. Okay. All right. So again, we have to think about who we're going to be rebuilding around. Okay. I see people yes, exactly. You have to we're also going to make sure that the compensation is substantial, right? That we're not getting swindled. Okay. Marcos Cash is saying build around Derek Brown, Frankie Louvu, and Sam Franklin. Interesting choices. Q from the Black Hat Panther podcast is in here. What's going on, Q? What's on, Q? Keep Brown. Okay. Jeremy Chin is out. I love him. Yep. I would keep Louvu. Okay. All right. So I see a lot of people saying Louvu. All right. So, all right. I'll give you this option. You pick two players. from the defensive side. Because the offensive side, we only have really one player we're going to be building around right now, and that's Bryce. We all know that. Okay? On offense, build around Bryce, Chuba, maybe Mingo. Okay, Marcos. All right, pick 2 players from the defensive side. You got Derek Brown, Brian Birds, Jeremy Chin, I would say Luvu, and I would probably say JC Horn. I mean, because that's who you're going to have to build around. So those are your pick 2 out of that. JC can't stay healthy. That is an issue. I would keep Horn just because we could possibly trade him next year because he has a 5th-year option, which we'll probably end up picking up. Derek Brown, Frankie Luvu. So Panther Raider X, me and you are on the same thing. I'm picking Luvu and Derek Brown. Okay. Here's the reason why I'm picking those 2. Derek Brown is a guy that is a disruptor. Okay. He's a disruptor. He's not a guy that's going to get you a lot of stats, but he's going to be a disruptor. He's going to help you. Okay. He's going to help the other guys get the sacks. That's how he helps Burns and Luvu get the sacks. Okay. Luvu. He's only a year older than Burns, but his compensation is going to be less than Brian Burns. With the draft capital that you can get from Burns is the reason why you would want to trade him, right? For the draft capital for the rebuild, right? As much as I hate that because I don't want to trade him. I love Burns. Burns is one of my favorite players. But if you're going from this as a standpoint of a rebuild, again, we're doing this from a standpoint of rebuild, you have to think about the future. So you got to think about that. So if I'm trading anybody now at this point, you're going to trade Burns from the defensive side. You can't trade Jeremy Chin anymore. I'm also trading. At this point, you can't trade everybody. You can't trade everybody because then your team is just going to be a lackluster. But I am going to be looking to trade Dante Jackson. The problem is with trading Dante Jackson is this, guys, is that you can't. The compensation for him is going to have to be astronomical because his contract is going to be $15.83 million next year. So you're going to have to persuade a team to eat that contract in the trade. And so you might not even get really any much compensation out of him due to that. But you still need to look to trade him. Now, we could say CJ Henderson, but then if you trade away Dante Jackson and him, then you really don't have a secondary at all. I mean, obviously, then that means you could bring in these younger guys like Deshaun Jameson, and then you got DJ Johnson, but they haven't used him. And I don't think they're going to because he was a waste of a pick, in my opinion, and I don't think he's that good. So you have to think about guys you're going to trade. So if I had it my way, I'm looking to trade Brian Burns because he's the only one that's going to get you a first-round pick, and maybe 2 if we can swindle it enough, right? If Jeremy Chin was healthy, I would trade him away because I just don't think he fits this system. I would trade Andy Dalton because here's the reason why I would trade Andy Dalton. There's teams out there that are looking for a quarterback just to kind of keep them afloat at the moment. All right. They're not looking to win right now. They're looking to just keep them at a level to where they get a top 10 pick. And the Jets was a team I was thinking, but now it seems like Zach Wilson's kind of just fitting the mold fine now at this point. So I don't think that trade would ever happen now. I've also been vouching to trade YGM because I felt like you could probably get a 3rd round pick for him. at least. But he has stepped up this year, so I have to give him his flowers on that standpoint. I've also mentioned another guy that we could trade. I've said Dante Jackson. Now here's the thing: you could trade Frankie Luvu. I'm not an advocate for it because if you do trade away Birds, you don't want to trade him too. Kind of Burns or Luvu is one's gonna have to go if you're doing a full rebuild. Here's the reason why you might want to look to trade Frankie Luvu is because here's the thing. He's in a contract year. So he's looking for a contract extension. This could be the time to trade him because of that. That's the only reason why I would say trade him. Another guy you want to look to trade, Terrace Marshall. Just because maybe he didn't fit here, but just because he hasn't done well here doesn't mean that he might not fit somewhere else. So that's another option. There has been talks that Taylor Moton could be also be encouraged to the trade block due to the fact of his age. At a right tackle, he's 29. He'll be 30. I know that with them, we don't have a right tackle, but you could get some capital out of him. And I don't suggest taking your trenches and burying them down and, obviously chopping them down for that. Who's our third string quarterback, Johnny Hecker? I would probably say so, my friend. Of course, then another guy I would look to trade is Miles Sanders. I mean, I know that I was just saying maybe the change in the offense could help, but at the same time, you paid 4 million, 25 or 4 years, 25 million, 16 million guaranteed, $3 million signing bonus, and he has hurt you more than he's done good. Again, what team is going to trade for a guy that has been a lackluster on this offense and for that contract price? Now they're saying Adam Thielen. What can you get for a 33-year-old Adam Thielen? Even though he's right now, the numbers don't lie. He's probably the third, or he's definitely the best slot receiver in the NFL right now. But what are you going to get for him? I don't think much. Right? It's not easy to replace JC, but Nader, it's not easy to replace him when he's not on the field either. The best ability is availability in that aspect of things. I've been advocating for that, Chad, man. I've been advocating for a real stud at the middle. I've been advocating that maybe Jeremy Chin be better fit at the middle. They continue to ignore that. Brown is better in nose tackle than Tuttle is. Absolutely. Tuttle is not sized enough for a nose tackle. And this defense, I don't think fits the 3-4 defense for the players that we have. I don't think it fits the scheme. I think we need to be in a 4-3 defense. I don't think the 3-4 is fitting these players very well. This system, I think, is hurting the players more than it is doing them good. Trade Burns and trade Burnt Toast Boy, CJ Henderson, Burnt Toast Henderson. We can get third for Andy Dalton and second for Jackson. If you can get a third round pick for Andy Dalton, I will be absolutely surprised. And if you can get a second for Jackson, if we were able to get a third for Dalton and a second for Jackson, that might have been the best. That would be the best move I've ever heard from Scott Fitterer. I don't trust our front office to do this though. Random thought: who's your third string? Who's our third? It's Johnny Hecker, Marcos. We are stuck with Sanders. Unfortunately, we are. Now, again, another guy that's been in the trade thing is Tommy Tremble. Right? What can you get for him, though? I don't know. I don't think his draft capital is really that high. You might get lucky to get a fifth out of him. I would also look at if once Xavier Woods comes back, I would look to trade him because it might be better that we get rid of him and move Xavier and move Chin back to the safety position. I don't believe Chin is fit for the nickel. I think that he needs to be in middle linebacker or up in the safety spot. So if you're not going to trade him, because you're not going to be able to trade him now because he's injured, and if he's out for 6 weeks, He's not going to be tradable by the trade deadline. So, you know, oh, I know. Now I get it. Bradbury is old. Gilmore would be old at this point. Razul, I don't know. I'm not sure how old Razul Douglas is. He's got to be up there with him too, but we'll see. Trey Thomas, you can't get nothing for him. Wait, are you serious? Johnny Hecker? Technically, he is our third string quarterback. I mean, they probably wouldn't allow that to happen, Marcos. Like if Dalton and Bryce went down, they would have to move up the guy from the practice squad, whoever that is. I don't even know who our guy is on the practice squad. So or you be calling Matt Ryan out of retirement. So again, I mean, those are the guys that you have to think about it from that standpoint. If we're going to do a true rebuild, you have to take your fan cap off and say, okay, who can we get draft capital for? And who are the guys? Who are we going to get compensated for? And those are the guys that I've listed off, and those are the guys that have been named around. But certain ones are going to it's going to take a lot for us to really trade them. So, again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Make sure you join the Discord. It's in the chat. Make sure you check out the link tree for all the other links for all my social media up above here. Make sure you check out betusa.com. The link is down in the description. Promo code Pantherology. I need to get it changed, but promo code Pantherology, they'll add on to an extra free bet. Make sure you bet responsibly, though, if you do choose to do so. But it's super easy to bet on there, and it's a fun way to bet. And there's a lot. There's always some deals going on. They're always giving coupons out. So go check out betusa.com. Again, the link is down in the description. Sign up for free today. They'll match up to 125% on your first bet. So if you bet $100, they'll match it to 125. Waiter. What an embarrassment, especially within I know. But we had to keep 5 tight ends. Remember, Marcos? We had to keep 5 tight ends that we have not utilized. We had to keep 5 tight ends that we do not utilize. If we would have got we could have gotten rid of 2 of the tight ends. Think about it this way, guys. We decided to keep 5 tight ends. What in the world? Wait, so what does the peace sign mean? Balloons? Okay, what does that mean? Does it do this? What's the thumbs up mean? Bubble. Holy crap, I'm learning some new stuffs with I wonder what else there is. I look like an idiot. I'm like, 2 is balloons. And then thumbs up is that. Interesting. Interesting. I did not know that. What is the hand gestures then? Yo, what's the hand gestures for StreamYard? Hand. That's kind of cool. I didn't know I could do that. Hey, yo. So if I do this, those are hearts. So if I do that, whoa. Dude, I'm having too much fun with this. I'm such a kid. So there's like hand gestures. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that StreamYard could do that. It doesn't do nothing. Where's the middle finger one? They don't do that. But anyways, again, appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Shout out to y'all joining the live stream today. Appreciate everyone. Really appreciate it. So shout out to y'all for coming out here, joining the live stream today. Shout out to y'all. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Boom. I really appreciate that. So again, appreciate everyone joining the live stream again. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right. And as always, make sure you pound that like button. But as always, guys, y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. Peace.